Hello everyone, this is xBIGALSKIx, and this is part 8, the sewers part 2 of Hunter the Reckoning, my commentary walkthrough video on Nightmare mode, playing as the character Judge. So, the intro is kind of always going to be a little bit of the same. This part's going to be a little bit of the same. I'm showing that, you know, I'm still playing on Nightmare mode. It's, this section right here can be a little tricky at first depending on how much health you come in from the last section. So taking those few hits in the last video has kind of put me at a disadvantage right now in terms of health. I mean, I want to stay back. I surely don't want to jump down right now with those sewer rats going and spawn a bunch of enemies. So I want to make sure that I walk up enough to spawn some guys, but I don't want to overdo it and, you know, get 3 or 4 guys out there at once that have guns and then just slowly, you know, be shot when you really can't see it. So that's kind of what happened a few times when I started this, so I had to play it a little bit more safe, because even though I felt I was being cautious, you know, I'd be standing there shooting and then all of a sudden here comes a bullet, you know, from a guy all the way across the map that I didn't see. So I want to kill the guys off here at this front section before I you know, move up just a little bit. Again, if I'd played the last section a little bit better or smarter, however you want to call it, I probably wouldn't be in this situation right now. And then also, you can see me being real cautious here too. Also, not having the health glyph, you know, has really hurt. You can't always depend on that. I mean, it's nice to take advantage of it when you can, but, you know, you always have to kind of look out and be smart and think ahead as well. Now, you notice that they can shoot their own guys. So maybe I could rush up there with the sword, but, you know, if you rush up there and a bunch of enemies spawn, then you could be in trouble. And with the sword, if you're connecting hits, more than likely they're not going to be able to shoot at you, because their knockback animation kind of prevents that. But if they do get a shot off because you've missed and you're point blank, especially with the shotgun, you know, that's going to take 60% of your health easily, if not more. Because I think there's 5 bullets that come out, and you can see them. But if all 5 of them hit you, you know, you're in trouble. So I've got this guy over here. I've got to worry about him behind me. And if I try to jump over there, and making that jump is not the easiest jump. You'll see it coming up here too. I like rolling into... See, again, I can't really see. Or at least I knocked him down. That was the good part. At least I knocked him down. But I've had a run where he just stood up there the whole time. And I couldn't get the jump, and I couldn't knock him down. But here I am trying to make this jump. Again, it's not the easiest jump, and also, for some reason, when you try to jump at the very last minute, it doesn't register. The controls just don't seem crisp like what I'm used to. See, again, I think I'm waiting till the last minute, and then it just didn't register at all. Now, believe it or not, as bad as this is, this actually was the fastest one that I did. I had one where I missed it like 10 times. And I've tried it from different angles. I really didn't have a lot of success from the back, so I figured that angle coming off here at the side right there would have been best. I know it's awful. Again, I could skip this, but hey, it's part of it. It's something y'all... And that's if I wanted the weapon. I mean, I could have chose not to do it, but I always want the weapons, you know, and blast the crap out of everybody. You think it's frustrating watching, you ought to try doing it. And like I said, this wasn't the worst one that I had. Oh my god. Even watching it on video is frustrating. Finally. And then I said, well, you know what? Let me try to jump back. And of course, that wasn't going to work. So sorry y'all had to deal with that, but, you know, I said I was going to show everything. So now I'm just trying to group them all together so I can use my word of power. That was, see, that's something that I didn't like either. I'd switched to use it, but I meant to, whenever I hit A to release the spirit, because I had it selected, it ended up using that too. So that's something you got to be careful with. If you have whatever edge, weapon, melee, range, whatever up there in the corner, and you press A, it's to like activate a body or a switch or something like that, it's going to use that or do that like it did right there. So I thought I was being prepared, and it turns out I ended up hurting myself. See, again, I didn't pick up the most I could on the ammo. I should have changed over to see what I had first before doing that. So hopefully my mistakes will help people out playing this to not make them. So now that I cleared a lot of them out, use some of my ammo so I know when I have to get to another machine gun, I'll be set. Again, exploring just to make sure I don't miss anything. And sometimes when you run across the screen, it will despawn some of the enemies. So I want to go back and make sure that I got them all. See, I saw that red, but I knew if I went up there and missed, like I ended up doing, that rat was going to burp on me with his stench, and then that was going to freeze me up a little bit, and then, you know, I was going to get blasted. So I'm not sure why I decided to use the majority of my shotgun. Maybe I'm going to pick up, again, you know, I did this, you know, a few weeks ago, and just now making the commentary. Like I said on some of the other videos that I've done, I really don't plan it out that much. It's just kind of whatever shows up and happens.
You lost your mind? What is this?
So I repeat myself a lot. I confuse myself. Hey, it's part of getting old. And I don't know why he's shooting in that direction. I mean, I'm not pointing that. I'm pointing the thumbstick to the direction of the enemy. So I don't know why he shot off to the side there. It's happened a few times on some of the other videos too. I really do hate these rats. I mean, as bad as the graphics are in a sense, they're still pretty gross. So see right there when I pick up that shotgun, that ammo was 16, but later on some of them are 24. I don't think there's a button to melee them whenever you get close. It kind of does it automatic. I mean, I could be wrong. Now, but that would be pretty nice. I know it happens sometimes, and sometimes he goes to reload, or sometimes he goes to shoot. So I don't think there is. I know whenever you press the right trigger, you know, maybe that does it. But again, it's one of the inconsistencies that I found. So that I'd rather stay back and not put myself in that, you know, position to where if it does miss or I'm not controlling it like I think I am, then, you know, I'm not going to get damaged. But see, having to stay back so much, you know, I end up missing up on health and some other things too. So there's a real trade-off of trying to play it safe. You know, maybe rolling or jumping, which I didn't do either there. But I really like to roll into it if possible. Now you really want to be methodical when you come through this section, since there are 11 spirit bodies you have to rescue, because the last thing you want to do is miss one and then have to go back. See, again, kind of some bad play there, just getting frustrated. And I think I saved my health in the health glyph in the back, and also this one right here. Because, you know, if I sit there and filled up my health back then, and then also, you know, use my blue right now, I'm really kind of wasting what I could get. So I'd rather use it one more time if I need to, knowing that I still have 3 full uses of the blue or the health. But I think here I'm going to run down, get a bunch of them to spawn, and use my word of power. There I go. But I still, even kind of residual burst stunned me. And again, if you miss that rat or miss any of these guys, whenever you use your word of power, again, that could spell some trouble. So make sure you get far enough back to try to get the first guy. It doesn't affect it that much right now, but a little bit later on in some of the harder levels it does. I probably should have gone back there and went ahead and refilled my blue. And again, coming through that little tunnel, I'm going to go ahead and shoot just in case. there's any guys that I can't see. I don't have enough right now to do a full edge use, so maybe that's what I'm doing right now, is going back and refilling. It's funny, again, the inconsistency of when I was really low and I used it, it filled up like 50 or 60%, and then the next one didn't hardly fill up anywhere as much as the first one did. I don't think I'm coming back, so that's the reason I went ahead and just used it. Once you play through the levels like I'd suggested earlier and get kind of an idea of what's going on, you'll know where, you know, the glyphs are and when to use them and when not to use them. At least that's kind of the goal. Now you see that guy, he was shooting at that innocent. Like I said, I believe that they can kill him if you're not there fast enough. You can see the bullets on the screen. I believe there's 5 of them.
Don't touch me!
Again, I don't know what he's shooting at sometimes. See why he's shooting at the spirit guy over there, or the skeletal remains, I don't know. But the machine gun works great for these rats, and it also works great for the dogs. I mean, if there's only a couple on there, I recommend using the crossbow or whatever ranged weapon your character has in order to save the ammo. But once you get overwhelmed, especially the dogs in the later sections, they're pretty brutal, so you want to make sure you have enough ammo. See, look at all the bullets I hit him and it didn't affect him. So every now and then the game will put these little secret rooms or a little bit off the beaten path rooms. Usually there's some innocents in here, or there's weapons. It happens a few times throughout the game, but just make sure that you explore all the areas, because it's really to your benefit. It's either going to be weapons that you probably need, or, you know, an innocent to give you some life. See, there's one of those little places I was telling you about that you can shoot and it won't hit him. I was lucky that, well, I don't know if it was luck or maybe it kind of worked in my favor this time, that he came up there and he used his his burp to stun me and then try to bite me, but it missed me. So that's the reason I like to kind of jump and go down these instead of just walking down, because you just don't know what's going to happen and how the enemies are going to react to you coming down that ramp or embankment, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, it not only happens here, but it happens in some of the other sections as well. And of course you could go through here and just rescue the guys and just move on, but again, I've never understood why people will buy games and just rush through it to play it and not really fully experience everything that the game has to offer. I mean, everybody can play how they want to. We've talked about it multiple times before. But I always believe in taking your time and kill everything, and then if you want to speed run afterwards, you can do that. Now these guys have flamethrowers, so you really got to be, you know, careful. Or this guy has the shotgun, but some of the guys down there have flamethrowers, so you really want to be careful. I kind of hated using my machine gun ammo here because I was so low. But it's easy to get surrounded by these guys, and it takes forever for them to die with my crossbow. So that probably wasn't the most efficient series, but at least I got rid of them. You know, and here's something too. I mean, I got hit there, but right before they shoot, you can use, you know, some cover. Like they have the... See, I didn't pick up all the weapon I could on my shotgun. I didn't even see that there at the time. But, you know, use some of these pipes or doorways or, you know, around corners to your advantage when they're shooting these weapons. But look how many it takes to kill that guy. And you also got to be careful, because that flamethrower guy, if you get close to him like I was, and then I sat there and tried to kill him, and then sometimes they'll blow up. So that was the last thing I wanted to do, is get next to him and kill him and then him blow up, because then that's probably going to kill me. I should have really focused on the guy with the shotgun at first, since the flamethrower people, they have limited range. Look how many hits it takes. I was kind of, see, there he goes blowing up. So I completed the objective. I could have saved right there, but I'm going to go back and refill my health. I mean, I have it. Like I said, it carries over. You might as well do it and take advantage of it, so you're not stuck at the beginning of a chapter or part, section, however we want to call it, and be limited like I was in this section. So again, I know I could have cut all that out, but I mean, it's part of it. It's part of what everything shows. I forgot to show my stats. I guess I was just so happy to get through it that I forgot to show my stats because I really wanted to compare, my rescues with my lives and see if anything had changed. But anyway, that's it for the sewers right now. I believe I come back to them later on in the game. But take care. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Fast forward as needed, and we'll see you later. Thanks.